Get to know the current political issues, the real stories behind the headlines. Get interactive. My Politics with Art Barrit. Only here on My TV Cebu.
Good evening, my dear televiewers. Once again, welcome to our weekly TV show, My Politics. This is your host, Art Barrit. Our guest this evening is a special person, and she will discuss with us and give us some insights on the proliferation of illegal drugs in the region. We invited our regional spokesperson of the Philippine Drugs and Enforcement Agency in the person of Ma'am Lea Alcantara. Ma'am Lea, good evening and welcome to our show.
Good evening, Sir Art, and to our friends watching My Politics, good evening.
Okay, Ma'am Lea, let's go to the point. No? So with the recent arrest of so many personalities in the region, and likewise the volume of drugs that were confiscated by PDEA for the last several years. So what's the status and update now of your agency?
Yes. Sir Bart, before anything else, I'd like to thank the public, Sir Art, because if not for the information that they're feeding the agency, we will not be able to conduct the arrest that we've made in the past years, along with the law enforcement agency.
I see.
The seizures, the number of arrests, the amount of shabu that you're seeing in the news, this is a good indication, Sir Art, that we are really intensifying our anti-illegal drugs campaign in the supply reduction side.
Okay.
But there is also a need. This is actually the direction now of the agency. We have established a three-pronged approach. Before, we only had two approaches, supply reduction and demand reduction.
Okay.
But right now, we are in the direction of implementing a three-pronged approach. The first is supply reduction.
I see.
That involves conduct of anti-illegal drug operations by bus, implementation of search warrant, the usual, sir. Demand reduction, this is where we educate the public about the ill effects of illegal drugs. Because sometimes it's not just enough that you conduct anti-illegal drugs, anti-illegal drug operations, sir. You also have to inform people why they should stay away from illegal drugs. We conduct lectures in schools, in the barangays, in workplaces, sir. We have lectures for that. And that's demand reduction. The third prong now is harm reduction. Now, what is harm reduction? Harm reduction focuses on the rehabilitation and reintegration of drug personalities, the drug users who want to, have a change of life. We give them a chance. Drug personalities, small-time drug pushers, who really want to change. They don't want to peddle anymore. So we give them a chance.
I see. Now, because of the volume of drugs that were confiscated and that were apprehended by our authorities, Ma'am Lea, is this a good indicator? And one of which is, I think, the participation of the people at the local level, not only the local government officials.
Yes, sir. Actually, we can see it in two different ways, sir. We can see it as a negative, right? Because it means that there are really still personalities involved in selling illegal drugs.
I see.
That's the negative side. But the positive thing is that with the number of arrests, it means that the public are now very empowered, more empowered than before.
I see.
When a few years ago they were, afraid to
report.
Yes, to report information. But right now they're
very free to
brave.
give information.
Yes, sir. They're very participative in our anti-illegal drugs campaign. Actually, we have a Facebook account, Sir Art, no? Daghan jud kayo na as in puno na ang amuang inbox of information. So this goes to show, personally, I see this as a positive indication that our campaign is really working.
Now, Ma'am Lea, how to protect the those at the ground level, so to speak, no? If I am the one who will be giving information to your agency, how would I be protected? No, that I will not be known to this drug lords or to those peddlers of illegal drugs and all those elements?
Yes, sir, Art. That's actually one common concern of our concerned citizens, their security. But actually, we can assure them that when they give us the information, it's only PDEA who will know who they are.
Okay.
And actually, they can use aliases. They
I
can
see.
use fake accounts. If they call us, we actually don't ask for the complete name.
Okay.
If you give us an alias, it's okay. And if we need further information, like along the way, we might need additional details, we'll ask their permission.
Okay.
They'll allow us to contact them.
Yeah, yes. After receiving all those details and information, a sort of from your agency, Ma'am Lea, so you'll need to validate
Yes,
all
sir.
those given information.
Yes,
of
sir.
course, with the coordination of other government agencies, like the Philippine National Police.
Yes, sir.
I see.
All the information that we receive, it will really go through a validation. We do surveillance. Sir. That's why I take this opportunity, Sir Art. No, there are reports that we will not be able to act upon immediately because we
You have a hierarchy,
Yes,
no?
sir.
Okay.
We have a hierarchy of reports that we act upon. But it's rest assured, sir. We assure the public that all the information
I see.
they're providing us, it's really noted by our intel sections.
I see. I
intelligence
see.
section.
How about those illegal drugs that are in transit in our different ports, Ma'am Lea? So we have coordination with, so of course, the Maritime Police and the Coast Guard. So your agency is also conducting some coordination with all the other, as I've said, all the other government agencies or units.
Yes, sir, Art. Actually, we have a memorandum of agreement with Marina, Philippine Navy, Philippine Coast Guard, and I think the BFAR as well.
I see.
We have established a what we call Seaport Interagency Anti-Illegal Drugs Unit. So it's really a coordination of joint effort by different government agencies, including the Bureau of Customs
I
as
see.
well. So we actually conduct regular inspection of imported shipments, sir, from outside the country. So we bring our canine, our dog, so they can sniff the what you call this, the cargo, no, just to make sure that there are no hidden hidden illegal drugs in the cargo.
Okay. Now, Ma'am Lea, a week or two so ago, there was a Chinese national, no, a youngster, a young woman, was caught inside her luggage, shabu that were hidden, and then it was the airport policemen who caught those illegal drugs. And what's the procedure here? So during the inspection or during the what's it called this at the airport when this incident happened, so PDEA will just go and get the subject?
Actually, sir, I think there was a news that came up again, but it was actually an apprehension in 2017.
I
The
see.
apprehension was in 2017. But what we do is, aside from our Seaport Interagency Anti-Illegal Drug Unit, we also have an airport interagency unit. So we have a team at the airport.
I see.
So if during the initial screening, the personnel of the Bureau of Customs or Bureau of Immigration will be able to sense that there's really there's something in the luggage. They'll call our canine. They'll ask our dog to sniff the
I see.
luggage. And if the dog sits down, because that's an indication that there's something in the luggage, we can conduct a inspection of the luggage already.
So there are PDEA personnel assigned at the airport?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And
there are also PDEA personnel assigned at the port?
Yes, sir.
Let's say at the port area or in seaports
Yes, sir.
conducting inspection?
The Bureau of Customs actually provided us an office,
I see.
Sir Art, but we have not yet, what do you call this? We have not yet put a team there, but we have a team who goes to the port regularly.
I see.
They conduct inspection at the Pier 1, Pier 3, Pier 1 and Pier 3.
I
They
see.
conduct inspection of
I see.
luggages as well. Sir
Okay.
Art.
How about the small ports, Ma'am Lea? Let's say those pump boats going to the neighboring islands. So we have a lot of small ports scattered around the city? And do we have also some personnel assigned?
Actually, Sir Art, that's a challenge on the part of the law enforcement because PDEA, we don't have jurisdiction, especially sa private port, sir.
I see.
We don't have jurisdiction. We cannot just barge into the private port. So this is where we're tapping actually the assistance of the local government units, the barangays. But we have the anti-drug abuse councils. It's barangay level, city level, and provincial level, municipal and provincial level. They can actually police their own communities, no? I think they have access, they can regulate these private ports. So this is where we are tapping them to assist us.
I see.
Where we cannot, they'll be our eyes, they'll be our ears in areas where we cannot be there 24 hours a day.
Okay. Now, when it comes to manpower, Ma'am Lea, I know that your agency, the same with other government agencies, is sometimes due to budgetary constraints.
Yes,
you have lack of manpower to monitor and to police all our ports and all our seaports. So with the creation and the implementation and the reactivation, actually, with the BADAC at the barangay level, how effective is this creation or the activity of these small units, Ma'am Lea?
Yes, sir. Actually, to be honest, sir, in the years before, we've noticed that the BADACs are not really functioning. No? If they are established, they're not functioning. An activated BADAC and a functioning BADAC are two different things.
I see.
You can be activated, but you're doing nothing. No? So you have to be both activated and functioning. But right now, especially with the implementation of a joint memorandum between DDB and DILG, DILG Joint Memorandum 2018-01, they are already implementing a process on how to assess really the functionality of the BADACs.
I see.
Last year, we had an audit of the ADAC functionality, and unfortunately, there were a number of ADACs, both in the barangay and city municipal level, that were not functioning. But
I see.
that according to DILG, that was still a trial period.
I
so
see.
They're given this year to, improve on their performance. Or else,
if they cannot be a functioning BADAC, so there's something wrong,
Yes,
and then DILJ could impose sanction to
Yes, sir.
the barangay officials.
Yes, sir.
I see.
There are corresponding sanctions, criminal and administrative and criminal.
I see. Now, when it comes to apprehension and implementation of a search warrant of your agency, Ma'am Lea, so what's the role of course, the barangay tanod and the barangay officials have a greater role also in accompanying the servers or the officials of PDEA.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Do you have some problems also with some of our barangay officials, Ma'am Lea?
Before, sir, I think there was an issue before that our previous regional director really filed a complaint against a set of officials because they refused to assist us during the inventory of the seized items.
I see.
I want to take this opportunity to educate our public officials or elected officials that your assistance during anti-illegal drug operations, it's not optional, it's mandatory. Although you don't have to go with a team, no, when we conduct anti-illegal, especially if it's by bus, because we of course we protect you, we prioritize your safety. But after the by bus operation, you really have to witness the signing of the inventory. Look at it as you protecting the interest also of the suspect, right? He's still a suspect. It's your part to help him, assist him in identifying that really these are the items that were seized from the person.
Okay.
If you will not sign, unfortunately, Sir Art, the case will be dismissed. Good.
Okay.
If there's a lacking witness.
Yes. Yeah, I know that, Ma'am Lea. Now, we have a lot of items and we have a lot of issues to be discussed by dear televiewers, and with our guest this evening, we'll be discussing the PDEA as an agency because it's very unique. The PDEA head in the region is led by a woman, and the spokesperson is a woman, and a situation where women power now is in charge of the agency. The Region 7 in the person of Ma'am Lea Alcantara. And for this program, you can watch us on Sky Cable, Channel 30, and also at livestream.com/mytv30/on-air. Ma'am Lea, the agency, PDEA Region 7, is headed by a guy who is known to us, also a hands-on person, but most of the time, I can read and I saw you in TV and read in the newspapers together with our deputy regional or assistant regional director. So, how do you find your work, Ma'am Lea, considering that you're not facing an easy or you're not carrying an easy task? Oh?
Actually, Sir Art, I find the job as a very good opportunity, no, to advance an advocacy that's close to my heart. Working in PDEA, it's not just a job for me anymore. 3 years pa lang ko sa PDEA, sir, but in that 3 years, I've learned so much.
What's your discipline before, Ma'am Lea?
I was, actually, I was part-time copy editor for a newspaper, sir, and then I was a copy editor for a publishing company.
I see.
So more on office job, you know, not this type of job. Very different from this one. So,
it seems at 95 degrees.
Yes, sir. And as I've said earlier, it's like this is a baptism of fire for me. No? Very different from my background before. But I see this as an opportunity to develop and, you know, to help a lot of people. I really feel, Sir Art, that I was here. I have a mission. I was destined to be here. And in the 3 years again, I've changed. No? I'm no longer the Lea 3 years ago.
I see.
I'm totally a different person. And in the office also, it helps that we have a our deputy regional director is actually a woman, Ma'am Tessa Albanyo-Tuzen. And I look up to her. If she can do
Ma'am
this.
Tessa is not a Cebuana.
Actually, sir, her family is from Cebu because
okay.
she's Albanyo.
From Mandawi.
Yes, sir, Albanyo. But her family relocated to Zamboanga when she was small. So she grew up and finished college. Finished her education in Zamboanga. But right now, she's here.
Is she a doctor?
No, sir. She's actually an agent.
She's an agent. Okay, Ma'am Lea, aside from the organic members of the PDEA, do you still have special agents?
No, sir. All our anti-illegal drug enforcement officers are graduate of the PDEA Academy.
I see. So you have a special or a specialization.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All our agents, if you're called a PDEA agent, you graduated from the PDEA Academy. Ma'am Tessa is one of the graduates of the first class of the PDEA Academy.
After that law was created or was
Yes,
passed.
sir. Yes, sir.
I see. Now, when it comes to the training of conducting seminars to our students, Ma'am Lea, how open do you conduct and what's the procedure? If, for instance, I'm a head of a certain university, then I would like to have my students avail of the programs or to engage activities from PDEA. How to go about it?
It's very simple, Sir Art. They just have to send us a request letter. They have to state in the letter their preferred date and the venue. We really request that they put the date so that we can also schedule. Yes, sir, calendar.
Okay.
Because there are we cater lectures for various audience, sir. We have schools, barangays, workplaces, and even government agencies, sir. We also conduct because we have this what we call there's a DDB regulation, sir. It's actually in the RA. It's actually in the Republic Act, wherein we are mandated to promote a drug-free workplace.
I see.
So there's a regulation for that. And part of the policy of the drug-free workplace is to conduct lectures.
I see. How about the lecturers and the pool of speakers, Ma'am Lea? It's not only from the PDEA. Likewise, you invited also some government agencies like the Philippine National Police,
Yes,
the
sir.
National Bureau of Investigation.
Actually, it depends, sir. If for example, we have a coordination with DOLE because DOLE can also conduct anti-illegal drug lectures for the workplaces. PNP can also do that. If we are not free, if our schedule is full, we sometimes tap the assistance of the PNP, DOLE, because they also have they have PCR man, diba, PNP. For PDEA, we have what we call the Preventive Education and Community Involvement section. So we have a sort of PCR as well.
Okay. Now, talking of the Labor Department, the Labor Department also have their way of conducting trainings and programs to the workplaces. And afterwards, they'll put a certain workplace that this particular workplace is a drug-free, something like that. So in coordination with PDEA, so you'll go and conduct also programs, as you said, with the officials of the Labor Department.
Actually, sir, the streamer, this is a drug-free workplace, let's keep it that way. That's actually a voluntary action on the part of the employer.
I see.
But it's voluntary in the sense that they have to be the ones to put it up. PDEA and DOLE, we're not the ones setting up the streamer.
I see.
But it's part of the regulation. It's like parang more demand on the demand reduction side, sir. It's to deter persons who are thinking of, getting involved in illegal drugs to not get involved because there's a big sign on their building.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to the users, when it comes to, let's say, Ma'am Lea, a certain personality, a private worker, having been after the testing or drug testing, mandatory drug testing, was found out that he is a drug user, so management could not easily what you call this, abandon or automatic ganang papahawaon in his job, no, compared to a government employee. If he is positively tested for drugs abuse or illegal drugs, so it's automatic that palagpot na yun. So how do you reconcile this one?
Actually, sir, for the private sector, it's the prerogative of the employer. Because once an employee is tested positive, both screening and confirmatory test, under the labor code, the employer actually has the right to terminate the person because he is already some sort of like a health hazard to other employees. But before terminating the person, he should also undergo either rehabilitation or proper referral because we know that he has a problem. So we can let him go, but let him go with assistance. Don't just terminate him right away and leave him to figure out what he should do next. So there's a process. There's counseling, and then actually some private companies, sir, they offer assistance. Like they'll just tell the employee, okay, you take a leave of absence for this amount of time because you have to go to the rehab, and once you're okay, once your doctor says you're okay, you can come back.
I see.
There are other companies, sir, who do that.
But how about in the government or the public sector? It's automatic that you will be kicked out.
For us in the law enforcement, sir, it's automatic. And the drug testing for us actually, but we have the random drug testing. Some government, not all government agencies conduct drug testing to 100% of their employees. Only law enforcement, military, PNP, PDEA were included. So if right now we're taping and RD says we'll be conducting drug testing, and now I really have to go to the office and submit myself to drug testing, or else I will have to explain.
I see, I see. Now, Ma'am Lea, when it comes to confirmatory testing, no? Okay. Now, those drugs that were confiscated, so they'll no longer ship to Manila. So we have laboratories here to do a final and a confirmation of those substances that were confiscated.
Yes, sir. We have a machine, GC. I forgot the name. It's a very technical name and good for the machine, but we have that. That's the machine used by drug testing laboratories to confirm if the urine sample really is positive for illegal drugs, and that's also the machine used to confirm if the seized item is really shabu or marijuana, ecstasy, and other drugs.
So also with the police, they'll send their items for confirmatory testing with the PDEA, or the police also have their own machine?
As far as I know, sir, I believe it's only PDEA who has that machine in the region. But what we do is for operations within the city, Metro Cebu, so that's Cebu City, Mandaue City, Lapu-Lapu City, they submit their seized items to us. So our chemists conduct the test. For the other parts of the province and the region, they submit it to the PNP laboratory.
Okay. How long PDEA will be going to store all these confiscated illegal items, Ma'am Lea? Let's say you need also to show it to the court, no?
Yes,
some evidence.
Yes,
then
sir.
how about those substances that were already presented in court?
Thank you so much, Sir Art, for bringing that question up, because that's usually the question of the public, and we can't blame them because they don't see how the process is. No?
I see.
The evidence stays with us until there is a court order for the destruction of the evidence.
I see.
Once the case is decided, and then there is a court order from the judge that we can go ahead and perform the destruction of evidence, then we will proceed with the destruction. Otherwise, it stays in the evidence room. And our evidence rooms are to ensure the integrity of the evidence and make sure that nobody else can get the evidences. No, we have a 3-lock rule. So tulo na siya ka-lock. One key is with RD, one key, the second key is with our chief chemist, and the third key is with our evidence custodian. So if we need to get something from the evidence room, they have to be present.
I see.
All 3 of them.
Okay. Ma'am Lea, with the volume of drugs that were confiscated for the past several years, no? How big is your, let's say, cabinet or your stock room or the what you call this?
Evidence room.
Evidence room. How big is it? Considering that there are a lot of drugs that were confiscated for the past several years.
Yes, sir. It's actually relatively big, and we have a CCTV camera. It's also air conditioned, and we actually conducted a destruction, Sir Art, last 2017, if I recall correctly, around July 2017. So we had a destruction.
When it comes to the destruction of illegal substances, Ma'am Lea, with the presence of, you invited also the public to
Yes, sir.
witness, something like that?
We invited judges, we invited the media, we invited representative of the private sector.
I see.
Yes, sir, because that's to establish that, before also the actual destruction, our chemists actually test again the substance.
Okay.
But there's no question about that. It's not the, it's something else. So our
Dili
chemists...
batawas or tinuod bagyod nga
yes,
sabo,
sir.
something like that.
So our chemists, before i-load na siya sa katong incinerator, they really show it to the media, the witnesses na. They'll test it. They put some parang solution. If it turns a certain color, then that's shabu. So
I see.
there's really a test before we load it.
Okay. Okay. Ma'am Lea, very interesting indeed. And then we'll discuss and talk about more on the role of PDEA vis-a-vis with the participation of the church sector. No? Since we have a lot also of programs, and we learned and we know that the church also is very much involved on the issue against illegal drugs. And in fact, they have also their rehabilitation program. So we will discuss this, my dear televiewers, after these reminders, and don't go away. Ma'am Lea Alcantara. Ma'am Lea, what's the program? I know, and you have a lot of programs implemented at the ground level, of course, with the participation also, and with the coordination of some non-government organization. No, one of the NGOs that I know for the past several years is that the church-led organization of Father Jula and Ma'am Fe Barino. So, do you still conduct a coordination with these 2 church organizations, Ma'am Lea?
Actually, Sir Art, we're very thankful that there are NGOs, religious NGOs, who are really participating in our campaign against illegal drugs, especially in the barangay level.
I see.
I know that these organizations are, in some barangays, they're handling the rehabilitation, the counseling of the surrenderers, which is very, very important, sir. We have this community-based rehab program. This is actually for the surrenderers who are categorized as users, no? They surrendered and then they told the police, I'm a user. So they are, if they're not really that, if their drug addiction or drug use is not severe, so we can put them in the community-based rehab program.
I see.
But the problem of the barangays is they lack counselors. They lack interventionists.
I see.
That's where the church came in. They provided the facilitators, they provided the personnel.
I see.
They even provided the financial support for the surrender. So we're really very thankful, sir, and we're hoping that other barangays who don't have yet the assistance of the church, we're hoping you reach out to your church because they can really help you. And under the structure of the Barangay Anti-Drug Abuse Council, Sir Art, the religious sector is actually part. It's a member of the ADAC, of the BADAC.
I see.
There should be a representative from the religious sector.
But before these two archdiocesan religious or archdiocesan-led organizations, there was also a Jesuit-run rehabilitation center somewhere in the mountain barangays. A Jesuit, run by a Jesuit. I don't know what's the status now. But anyway, so aside from the church organizations that PDEA is coordinating or having some linkages, so also with some government agencies, Ma'am Lea, no?
Yes, sir.
One is for TESDA, no?
Yes,
there
sir.
are a lot of in-situ programs or in-situ courses of TESDA wherein surrenderers and drug users are after the rehabilitation will become a sort of enrollees or beneficiaries of some programs of TESDA.
Yes, sir.
So until now, you still also continue coordinating with TESDA?
That's actually true, Sir Art, no? And it's still an ongoing program because the community, the what do you call this? The structure of the community-based rehab program is really you treat first, you address first the person, you know, counseling, spiritual awakening, all those kinds of programs. After that, if they graduate if they graduate from the CBRP, they now proceed to the aftercare program.
I see.
The aftercare program, this is where livelihood training, skills trainings, this is where all those programs come in. So it's really a process. But we have to ensure first that our surrenderers or our clients are able to graduate the CBRP because that's one requirement of TESDA.
What is CBRP, Ma'am Lea?
Community-based rehab program, sir.
Okay.
So they really need to graduate first from the program because they have to secure a certificate of graduation or completion.
I see. So this is a TESDA-funded program or project?
Not necessarily TESDA, sir. TESDA is one of our partners.
One of the partners.
Yes, sir. We also have DTI. DSWD also has can support our surrenderers.
Okay.
No? If for example, during the CBRP of the surrenderer, for example, he's the breadwinner, but he can't work anymore because he's attending the CBRP.
Okay.
The DSWD can actually, but it depends on the assessment of the DSWD. But if the person passes, they can actually provide assistance to the family.
Financial assistance to the family.
Yes, sir. Financial or siguro like mga livelihood like the same sa TESDA. The job opportunities that TESDA offers, dili lang man siya for the surrenderers. It's also for the family. Para while nag-recover ang ilahang family member, the family is also capacitated. And we also have this, that's for the users, di ba, Sir Art? Surrendered users, ang community-based rehab program. We are actually advocating for another program, but this one is for the drug personalities or drug pushers. Katong dili mga users, but small time lang. If, for example, surrendered drug pusher, but inactive na gyud siya. After thorough verification by PNP and PDEA, we found out that he really stopped peddling na. He can be enrolled in what we call the Balay Silangan. The Balay Silangan, this will be a facility where they can be given another chance, no, na magbago sila, just the same as si BRP but separate lang because we have to separate the users and the peddlers. Kaya kung imo nang usa murag delikado.
I see.
So we really have to separate them. Another client for our balay silangan is kaning mga plea bargainers or art. So we really can't, again, we can't put them in the same place kani sa kaning mga users. So if plea bargainer ka, the judge allowed you to take advantage of your plea bargain, isulod ka na mo sa balay silangan.
I see.
In the balay silangan, you will naapoy counseling, naapoy spiritual awakening, mura ra gihapon kaning sa users. But stay in lang mo. You have to stay in the facility for at least 1 month.
I see.
After that 1 month, if the program coordinator, which is actually the balay silangan will be run by the LGU, sir, local government unit.
So we have here in the city?
Unfortunately, sir, wala pa.
Wala pa. How about in the province?
We have established already one in Danao, but it's not yet operational, sir. But our target is, the mayor is actually, Mayor Durano is actually pushing for the for the facility to be functioning na gyud by next month.
I see.
But here in Cebu City, we've actually talked with Mayor Labella. We're very happy, sir, because Mayor Labella really
He's very supportive on this program.
He committed to establishing at least, sa akong na-recall, at least 5 balay silangan in the city. Siguro tulo sa north, tulo sa south district, with the volume of our plea bargainers ba. And then we also launched the program in Sogod, but wala pa lang tayo facility, but gilihok na dito. Mandawi City, sir, also very supportive, and Lapu-Lapu.
I see.
The HUCs.
Okay. Now, Ma'am Lea, you discussed and you made mention about those enrollees and those surrenderers who avails of the TESDA program, no? So, after graduation or after the completion of a certain TESDA course, so of course, the same with the graduates and enrollees in the private sector that will receive the NC2 certificate. Aside from the NC2 certificate, they also receive the kit or the construction kit, something like that. So the practice also with the surrenderers with regards to TESDA implemented program?
Yes, sir. Actually, as I've said earlier, TESDA, DTI, DSWD, even in the Department of Agriculture, what else? All other agencies that can provide assistance to our surrenderers, we're actually tapping them, sir. We have this Executive Order number 15, series of 2017.
I see.
It actually established the ICAD, or Interagency Committee on Anti-Illegal Drugs.
I see.
With that ICAD, if you look at the executive order, sir, ma-amaze ka kay there's, for example, as I've said, Department of Agriculture. How come na-appeal si Department of Agriculture in an issue that is, drugs? But if you think of it, if you think outside the box, yes, DA can help. They can provide livelihood opportunities for our drug surrenderers. So the approach now of the government is really interagency, whole of government approach, Sir Art. So,
Ma'am Lea, you have a very good and you have a very holistic approach when it comes to dealing with the drug users and abusers. And then, of course, your agency is an agency that taps all other government agencies. So,
yes, sir.
But at the local level, at the ground level, it seems na way nahibaw, gamay rin na sayod. So, you need more info dissemination to the local government executive.
Yes, sir. Art. That's actually one of the challenges that the agency is facing, given our limited manpower. So I really maximize, and I just like to take this opportunity because our media partners in Region 7, they've been very supportive, sir. From the first time I came into PDEA, sir, I've been in PDEA for 3 years.
Of course, because you are also from the sector, no? You came from media.
Yes, sir. But right now, I'm already part of the government. I'm on the other side of the fence. But I really feel the support, sir, of the media. And for me, mas diri na ako na-appreciate ang akong profession before. No? We have the widest reach sa ato ang audience. So, it's very effective good for government agencies to partner with the media. Kaya you have the mileage, you have the reach. So, ako sir personally very happy jud ko, very appreciative of opportunities like this where we can educate the public of our programs.
Yes. I'm happy also nga imuhaning na paabot nga dos publiko. And Ma'am Lea, of course, you are not only dealing with the mainstream media, likewise also with the social media.
Yes, sir. Amo jud nang gitake advantage ng social media, sir, because nowadays ang tao di na kaayo kung mukuan magani og balita, marag pahapyaw lang. Ang naong naana usually sa cellphone. No? So we also take advantage of social media. Mapod na a strategy namo sa agency karon. We kana mo ang Facebook. Na we have a dedicated team to post mga lectures, even our inspections, kanang ginagmay nga activities sa office, we post it in Facebook so that the people will know na, they're working. Okay,
Ma'am Lea, with the limited manpower of your agency and you acted only as one, so how do you find you'll reach as much clientele as much as possible?
Actually, sir, it's a very demanding job. It's a demanding job, but at the same time, it's very fulfilling, no? Correct. This job is something, ito na-mention ni Ma'am Tessa during our forum. It's something that keeps you or wakes you up in the morning refreshed.
Okay.
No? Murag, maski kapoy ka, karon iguli na ako kapoy. But tomorrow when I wake up, when I think of my job, daghan pa ko og buhaton. So, kana, it refreshes us every day.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma'am Lea. Your parting statement to the public.
Yes, Sir Art. First of all, again, sir, we'd like to thank the public. No, all throughout the years, even with the various criticisms the office has received, they stood by us, sir. We feel your support, and please continue to support us because our campaign against illegal drugs, this will not be won by just one agency alone or just by one person. We really have to assist each other, help each other, and ultimately, the campaign, it's not difficult to start, no? There's one way lang yun of starting the campaign. Start it in your homes. Start with your families. Kusog kay ta, Sir Art, manaway sa tong silingan.
Exactly.
Nga ang anak is addict, but our kids, we don't know kung unsa na sila. So let's start in our homes. We're not asking you to arrest drug personalities. We're not asking you to accompany us during anti-illegal drug operations. We're just appealing to you, to the parents, to the grandparents, those who have kids. Please watch over your kids, watch over your children. Know who they're with, no? So it's
Ma'am
very
Lea,
important, sir.
thank you very much. Ma'am Lea Alcantara of PDEA, thank you very much for guesting. And this is your host, Art Barrit of My Politics. Manamilit lang umuingon, nga samtang muhingos pa ang ilong sa tao. Iyang mga pangandoy o tingosbawan, way katapusan. Daghang salamat. Good evening.